Did she drop off?
Hello?
Yes. Go.
Hi, this is Nancy.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. Good evening. I'm Nancy Landona, Chief Operating Officer at Brass City Charter School in Waterbury, speaking in support of charter school facilities funding by offering a quick glimpse into 3 recent days at Brass City. To set the context, we are in a former church property consisting of 4 buildings which we purchased and partially renovated for $8 million in 2018. September 2nd, the day after a storm, I arrived to find water streaming into one building due to a drainage problem with the flat roof. I'm not talking about some groundwater leaking into the corners of a basement. I'm talking about sheets of water streaming down the walls, pouring through the hallway ceiling, and about 2 inches of water on the floor in the hallway and cafeteria. We spent most of that day squeegeeing water. We thought ourselves lucky that the brand new gym floor had remained dry until a few weeks later when it began to buckle into mini mountain ranges caused by water which had seeped underneath the floorboards during the flood. We had to remove an entire section of the floor before students ever even played on it. Monday after Thanksgiving, a problem with the main school boiler over the long weekend had caused pipes on the 2nd floor to leak a significant amount of water which seeped into and through the 1st floor ceiling, the 1st floor, and the basement ceiling of that classroom. When I arrived, it was still raining in the classrooms. Since the heat was off and classrooms and hallways were flooded, we canceled school that day. Fast forward to a bitter cold January morning. Around 11 a.m., I got a call to come to the basement music room. Imagine, if you will, your bathtub with taps fully open. Now imagine all that water pouring from the ceiling full force with no end in sight. This is what we saw. This issue was due to a burst pipe in an air exchanger. Just another day in this year of leaks and floods, which has to date cost us nearly $50,000 in HVAC repairs and unanticipated floor and ceiling removal and replacement. Looking forward, we have been approved for a facilities grant to add an elevator in one building, but that grant was not meant to cover all the costs, and we anticipate that our portion of costs has increased substantially from what was projected 3 years ago when that grant was approved. And just this week, we received bids for replacement of the former church roof, around $400,000. This is not a project that we can defer. Other major projects are also needed. Thankfully, we had some federal funding in this past year, which enabled us to replace many inoperable windows. We were fortunate to be able to purchase and renovate our property, but that $8 million mortgage comes with an annual debt service that equals a full 10% of the charter school per pupil money we receive. That $400,000 estimate for the roof replacement, an additional 10%. I don't believe other public schools are spending 10% of their budgets on debt service and even more for major facility repairs. I know we're not alone in this. On behalf of all charters, I ask this committee to consider appropriating funds for charter school facilities. The burden is real and it's heavy. We're extremely appreciative of the per pupil increases and additional monies for ECS funding that we've received, but we do need help with facilities costs as well. No child should lose school days due to failing heating systems or leaky roofs. Please read my written testimony for further details and know that I am available to you should you wish to speak more in depth on this topic. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening.